We have to talk about what life is all about, not what you hope it's about. And most of those things just tell it like it is. Life is all about, not what you hope it's about. And most of those lyrics just tell it like it is. Stand out. That's what I want. Birds put together beautifully. Studio and I get made up, and about a half hour after I'm made up I go on to do something. Okay, we have to talk about what life is all about, not what you hope it's about. And most of those things just tell it like it is. I go on to do something. But you have to talk about what life is all about, not what you hope.
All right, everybody. What's going on? What's going on? All right. Let's get this going. Let's get this going. All right. What a day. What a day. I feel like I always start with that. What is going on? What is everybody up to? And in the world, it is just every day I learn something new. And we're going to go into a couple different things today. Yeah, I got to change this. Hold up. So, some crazy stuff going on today. Let's just do a quick market breakdown. We have been in this phase of chop for quite some time, and I think blockchain equities have been hit the hardest out of a lot of different stocks, especially because they just IPO'd and there's just been a lot of speculation as to the value of their companies. They are coming out in what we see today, which is war. We've spoken many times before about war and how that impacts Bitcoin prices. Bitcoin currently sits at 70. Let's make sure that we have that right. Yep. Currently sitting at 70. We spoke about this. If you're long war, you should be long Bitcoin. Separately, what we did not speak on is also the tangential or the things, the subsequent winners of war, which is stablecoins. Stablecoins are coming to the forefront of the picture today because Iranians right now are getting kicked out of their bank accounts. The regime is taking over the financial system. This is the ultimate use case of stablecoins, right? It cannot be seen. There's not a better scenario for you to imagine the use case of a currency which cannot be manipulated and is pegged to one of the global dollar, right? Now you can argue that there are risks to the U.S. government of the dollar itself or the USDC or something like that. In this case, is a circle. But the fact of the matter is you can transact in USDC, in the dollar, which I believe the dollar is going up. Dollar's going up. Yep, you can see the other currencies are down. So the dollar's going up. It's strengthening. You can have exposure to US dollar and transact in it or different stablecoins. So it just shows you the impact of the market. The market is saying stablecoins are something that we see as valuable, especially in wartime scenarios. The other interesting thing is that Figure, which is one of the most shorted stocks in terms of blockchains, hit 39.59 today. Mike Cagney a couple of weeks ago was like drunk on X doing an AMA, and he was telling people off. He was saying that they have no idea what they're talking about. They don't know about the prospects of Figure, et cetera, et cetera. They're looking backwards, not forwards. And I'll tell you what, they ate their words. And the short exposure to Figure was at an all-time high down in 25. So doing extraordinarily well. U.S. oil is also staying at 86. And we'll go a little bit into the U.S. oil bit, but I think everyone's kind of seen that quite a lot recently. Let's just talk about it for a second. Why did oil go to 120? Why is it at 86? Let's just talk about the economics behind the Middle East, and not only the economics, but also the geography. So the Strait of Hormuz. We're going to bring up all the facts while we talk about this. But the Strait of Hormuz is basically, if you can imagine, where everybody collects their oil in the Middle East. Let's just pull it up. Everybody collects their oil in this area. You have Qatar, who is a lot of natural gas. You have UAE. You have Kuwait. These are all very large oil and energy producers. They all have ports right here. And they all need to go through what is called the Strait of Hormuz right here. Now, Iran has basically gone out and said, you cannot go and cross this. Not only that, but the insurance providers for every major energy company or energy transport company stopped providing insurance for those ships that that are going through this area. So it's very important right now, and you probably see Trump like sounding alarms and blah blah blah, and you see people are sending like outside, like Australia, France, but people are stepping in to open this up because their prices of their energy are going up so much, and this just shows you how concentrated energy is right now. But this closure, which was or not closure, but essentially the time frame when this started going off, everybody was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be in a very bad situation. And so late last Friday, actually on Monday, this was yesterday. Sheesh. Oh my gosh, this stuff is just moving left, right, center all day, every day. On Monday, all these fears kind of came to a head and drove oil prices up to $120. You ended up having Trump tweet that they're going to take measures to reduce oil prices. You also had his tweet that said this is short term, like we are expecting to wrap this up very quickly. Iran obviously responding very aggressively, saying that they are not going to participate in whatever timeline the United States says it is. And one moment. I'm just updating our little. I realize I have a little typo here. Let's see. Desktop overlay. One moment. Beautiful. So a little market discussion. But that is the case. So what do we have today? Oh my gosh. My Moltbook. Interesting. Moltbook. So those are all the different things going on in the market today. I mean, there's plenty more to talk about, but I think for the general investing audience, this is, we're seeing these narratives play out in real time. Things that people bet on. You're talking about blockchain equities. You're talking about oil. You're talking about, let's just take a look at the emerging market index, that as well. There's also, so post is 58. So they took a lot of money out of the emerging markets, just given the global uncertainty. The U.S. markets are now, again, becoming a place where you want to park your cash, because where are you going to park your cash elsewhere, given all the pressures? Now, it's very important to note that a lot of people are saying this revolves around the oil discussion, is saying that these key plays by getting into Venezuela, getting into Iran, are all just kind of the starting negotiating points with China, which the U.S. is supposed to meet with China in April. So this is there's discussions or just thought pieces going out that are saying that this is all to move the chips, to move the pieces on the chessboard, to have a bargaining power with China. So those are kind of the narratives that are at play right now. Separately, not only that, but energy or memory shortages are still one of the key market narratives as well. You see SanDisk is up 5% on the day. It's at 622. So, I mean, it's still operating very nicely in terms of price action. NVIDIA sitting at 184. So definitely a lot of chop, pretty much in line with the market. Generally just chopping since July, essentially. Hit 212 in November, and it's just been kind of sitting tight since then. Now the one headline today that really stuck out was the acquisition of Moltbook by Facebook. Let's just do a little bit of analysis on this. Meta's acquisition of Moltbook, a red-light platform for AI agents to communicate, launched 6 weeks ago. Moltbook gained viral traction through AI-generated posts mimicking human discourse. This move, it's a strategic pivot by Meta to go into agent-to-agent interactions. It's interesting because Moltbook, I feel, has kind of come down a little bit, but I will say, I think this is not necessarily a play for acquiring the tech, it's acquiring the team behind the tech. So a lot of these companies just buy these early traction platforms. You see this with OpenClaw, you see this with Moltbook, where there's only so many people in this world with the expertise and the ability to use AI and commercialize AI, because the reliability of AI is so low, that if you have people that understand the economics, that understand how to drive people to an AI product, which can go viral. I think they're trying to really like control all the critical minds in the space. So you have this like 1,000. It's almost like the NBA where you have people being traded. This seems to be a very strategic move by Meta to take out the people that are competing directly with them. Of course, social media or social discourse, social platform is where Facebook wants to play in, so they're going for Moltbook. And for those who don't know Moltbook is a platform for AI agents to essentially communicate with one another. And you spin up your own agent, and they can have their own personalities, et cetera, et cetera. Now I do want to quickly go into, so it's almost like a marketing and PR thing. They have for Facebook to, let me take a step back here. There is something going on here, which you can't really put a finger on it, but it's like calling the top of this insane wave of people experimenting with AI that are getting subsidized by VC dollars and investment dollars. The cost, the amount of compute that these agents are taking out of the system, they're running 24/7. 24/7, they're doing random tasks, they're doing complex decision making. The amount of compute that these people are using is like destroying people's forecasts. I would almost argue, let's just take a look at like MU and some of these larger, like you see Chamath, actually. I think this is a good one. On the All In podcast. Let's just go. He very clearly, like, this is a very, very important thing to note as you're speaking to people about like agents and like what's going on with the entire ecosystem. How is it being worked? I want to pull up the clip. Revenue, compute costs. Come on. Let's see.
You can't win.
No. Nope. Where is this? I want to go into Chamath. Chamath had a really good point. But revenue not increasing. This is a good clip because I think this pretty much sums up Chamath, for better or for worse. He is very plugged in and knows exactly what's going on, and he speaks things that are you kind of you internalize, you kind of see it, but you don't actually like think about it. Like he actually goes at it, especially because he's on a podcast and things like that. So, this is an interesting take. So, Chamath, the AI is in a curious state right now. Billions are being spent on CapEx, credits, and tokens, yet few new incremental customer revenues are being generated. Two potential explanations. AI is an efficiency play, so companies will deploy agents and automation to reduce existing infrastructure and costs, keeping most end use cases the same, so AI generates OpEx savings under the hood. Number two, VCs are feeding startups with billions that consume AI compute, looking for new use cases. The AI compute complex booms and books real revenues, but if the startup don't find product market fit soon, these revenues will shrivel because the startups won't get more funding and will go bankrupt. What are some startups that are making money using AI to enable a new valuable product to the end customer user? This is back in 2023. oddly enough, well, I mean, these AI companies, they listen, they made a lot of money. Like, they raised a lot of money, so they could go years and years. But eventually, to his point, this is going to be the case, and people are using a lot of it. Now, what's really, really strange about this is that this comment was back in 2023. However, he just said he is now currently experiencing this. Where is this? Where is this? Where is this? I know where it is. Yeah, I want to. Yeah, this is it. This is it. Let's just. I want to pull up his tweets. Okay, here it is. When was this? March 5th. God, 5 days behind. What the heck? Um, let's just set the table here, everybody. What is happening is that people are using AI compute for the wrong purposes. They're asking it to do things that it cannot do. A. B. They're using wrappers on top of the models that have it. So they're using Cursor on top of Claude Code, which is like, there's no point in doing that. So you're paying a premium. So you combine those two things where you have profit margins and profit margins. And then on top of that, using compute for things that shouldn't be using compute. It's better to just build a tool that does XYZ than it is to have someone decide, in an abstract manner, or build something from 0 to 1, or make decisions to automate a certain task. Therefore, like, for example, going and logging in on 5 different social media platforms and clicking, taking a clip from your file folder and posting it on, whatever platform, et cetera, is much more cost intensive in terms of compute for the agent than the agent just using a tool which routes all the clips to all the platforms. Like, I want to see the actual math on this, but that's what we're talking about. That's what we're thinking about. That's how you go about thinking about these issues, is that you're not actually using the compute for the necessary reasons. Okay, now let's go to Shaman's point. Just to add some color to the commentary on Anthropic and Cursor's revenue ramps from the perspective of a customer. Since November 2025, our AI costs have more than tripled, and we are now spending many millions per year, trending to $10 million per year. That, in and of itself, feels very scary to me running a small startup. Mostly because I do not see the equivalent uptick in productivity or revenue. While their revenues may be doubling and tripling every month, ours are not, so this is starting to eat into margins. So logically, I am now wondering how much of these models running into Ralph loops on behalf of the engineer ambivalent to how much it costs. My suspicion is a lot. Anyways, we are making few decisions. We need to migrate off of Cursor. It's just too expensive versus Claude Code. The latter is equivalent, and if you use the Pro plan, you eliminate huge Cursor bills for token composition. Thank you to the VCs who will fund this all-you-can-eat token consumption through their huge investments. We need to gain more flexibility to swap between models without everything breaking. I think this is both a cost problem per number one, but it also is a strategic flexibility issue after the events between Anthropic and the DOW, Department of War. Anyways, just sharing our current lived experience as suspected. Many other companies are also feeding this revenue ramp without getting any meaningful ROI from it. So, and then he posts the costs. Wow. Okay. Oh, interesting. This is a good fun command built in Cloud Code. Cost estimate scans your code base and cost references current market rates to calculate what your project would have cost a real team to build. It looks at APIs integration, everything. Without AI, 2.8 years, 650K. With AI, 30 hours. It's absurd when you start to think about this. Wow. Okay. This is a very, very key. Like, everyone needs to understand this dynamic. Like, this is Shamat, the guy that is supposedly on the cutting edge of technology and the ability to deploy things. And it's important. It's really, really important to understand this because people are spending, like, engineers are spending so much money on compute to do things that shouldn't be used for it, that there needs to be two things that happen. Either one, people stop doing it. They stop using these tools because they're too expensive. Uh, or that's number one. And then the whole cycle continues, and or as people matriculate off, new compute comes on, makes it less expensive. However, you should there. What I'm saying is there should be a shift, somewhat of a shift, between actual execution and the cost of execution, and the ability to create platforms without the immense amount of compute that is being used right now. For example, Anthropic just added $6 billion of ARR to their system, to their company in the past 3 months. $6 billion. Within that time frame, what happened? These systems, these agentic systems, are running around doing crazy stuff. They're doing crazy stuff, like things that like they're just using more compute, and therefore that's really what's going to kill some of these early startups. Is that number one, there is no commercial use case for agents as they stand today. So these companies, which are maybe they have a few things that they've hammered down, but there's only a few things that can be really be done. They have to recognize that their business model will have to change. It's going to have to change because right now we're at the phase of agents where it's the computer in the warehouse. Like, it takes up the entire warehouse, right? So if it's taking up the entire warehouse, then making 5 or 10 of them is super costly. And most of the companies, the computer companies, did fail. So you have to look at it, and you have to just spend time thinking about what is the actual future. The actual future is not the agent making every decision in every meaningful way. Humans don't do that. Humans don't do that. Computers don't do that. They use tools to then go do something. Because what happens? You gain much more efficiency behind procedural code and something using that procedural code than using the agent to decide every procedure in it, because then it has to go through all the decisions, et cetera, et cetera. So, my prediction is that the world compute will get cheaper. However, a lot of agentic things will go down. Will just go down. Like, there's no, like, most of them will fail because if they're not taking a procedural code first here and then using an agent to then manipulate that procedural code, you're running into a situation where, I mean, they're just like, they're toys. They're toys. You're gonna end up spending a lot of money. It's not really gonna get anywhere. It's cool, but it doesn't really do a whole lot, right? It comes down to the point of like for example, what is Oh, I just thought to myself, actually, a good thing. When you think about it, like all tools that are on in the world today, can be remade very quickly. And when you think about the amount of compute being used to create 0 to 1 products that have already been built, I think the future is pre-built modules that reduce compute costs and allowing the agent to use those pre-built tools or those pre-built databases or whatever it is, to then operate, therefore reducing overall compute and allowing for more complex behaviors to reliably operate. That's my prediction. That is my prediction, and you do already see it. Like you already saw it, with many startups, which essentially you can see it, like as the quote unquote agent goes and does what the action that you want. You can literally watch it write code, like it's writing Python. It's writing something that it will go and do that task. What I'm saying is these tasks are being driven by capitalist intentions to suck money out of the system because Anthropic knows that the same tool is being made 10 billion times over again. So the people that are going to win are going to be saying, okay, like let's share the tools because to be honest, a business, a tent business, a any small mom and pop, any business really, and let's just say proprietary workflows for most of the time, guys, are built off of things that are publicly known. Most software is based on open source software programs. These aren't like new things. Like inventory is inventory, accounting is accounting. There's only the application of those rules that are governed, right? So there's no like I don't believe in this like proprietary workflows. I don't believe in any of it. Eventually what you have is pre-built modules which the agents use, that will fill out reliably based on certain data pipelines, that reduces overall compute, increases the complexity of the tasks they can do because you reduce that compute. And then over time, yes, as compute scales and as agents become more reliable based on what I would consider frameworks, likely you have to have some type of framework, then you see more and more use cases for them specifically. So that's kind of it, right? And it really, I mean, it follows the lines of like typical programming, where programming as a whole, you have frameworks, but you have frameworks which provide guardrails. Now, there you can build it from soup to nuts, but to operate and your costs will be lower over the long term. However, if you can't build it soup to nuts, and in this case you really shouldn't, like there's some things that are just they're not worth recreating 0 to 1. Like it's just not worth the time and energy because it's already been done a bajillion times. So that is the case. I'll be back. Let's say. I'm back. Alrighty. Okay. All right. I'm getting off my monologue. That's my thoughts on IA agents, how they're going to get better over time, and so on and so forth. The next thing that we're interesting. Pump Fund is actually hiring for machine learning engineers. Very cool. Rolls ranging from 300 to 1.5K. That is 1.5. Holy crap. 300 to 1.5 million plus base salary plus 75 to 500,000 in pump tokens. I mean, let's be honest, that is actually insane. Where's pump nowadays? Where's pump fun? Yeah, not doing great. They did raise $1 billion, so I mean, you would suspect that they would at some point do something. Another token which we've always been following is Seeker. Let's just pull this up. Yeah, currently sitting at 2.5. This does seem like a market making area, so something to definitely take a look at. For all those just like looking like this, maybe put something in for 0.02. But yeah, Seeker seems to be sitting pretty nicely. Fully dilutive market cap is 247 million. The market cap is 128 million. So pretty low considering the personalities that are involved here. Um, Very cool. Very cool. Let's just go down here. Hearing about a company doing AI autonomous code for enterprises whose revenue is up 100x year over year. This is where corporate tech budgets are going. Uh, huh. Okay. Oh, interesting. Reviewed two PRs for $37 this morning. Took 9 minutes on a 8-line template change, removing some unnecessary info. Got a tiny nitpick out of it. Then 30 minutes on a 15 file. I assume 15 line file. PR where it missed the actual bug introduced, which manual review found quickly. Turning off for now. Yeah, I think there's arguments for and against. Um, Oracle, wow. Oracle reported. Oh my gosh, it's up 10%. Oh wow, wow. Oracle and Intel. Intel also had quite a day today. Where's Intel at? Yeah, 46. Okay, interesting. Okay, so Oracle is sitting at quite a hefty number here. 163. I mean, it looks like a good buy. Looks like a really nice buy. October 25. Holy crap, this thing is down. This is taking the biggest hit. Might be worth getting into Oracle. I mean, considering what's going on here, this is insane. Like increasing revenues, yada yada yada, craziness. Um, wow, Oracle up 8%, beating earnings. Um, wow, what is this fun? Oh, let's take a look at EONR, which is the Reddit. Yeah, currently sitting at 79 cents. Probably good to short this one. Not gonna say you should or should not, but like that's what it is. Mike Cagney, here it is. All right. Here we go. So let's just talk about what happened today. Mike Cagney, this on March 2nd, it hit $25. Probably the heaviest short stock in the market. Currently sitting at 39. Mike Cagney had something to say. On a day like today, I'd like to point out the asymmetry of a public company founder. Your stock goes down, everyone hates you, people use X to rail on you. Ask why you aren't buying the stock back. Ask why your company isn't doing anything about the stock, tell you suck, your stock goes up, crickets. We aren't building figure for the short-term traders. We're building a long-term enterprise value via disrupted blockchain native capital market. We'll have our ups and downs, and so will the stock, but we are dogged in our mission, and the mission should create real value for our shareholders. Arguably a very good line. Figure up 21% today to 39.50. So there you go. The Pentagon purchased $2 million worth of Alaskan king crab in September. Oh my gosh. Wow. This guy put 1 million fake agents into Moltbook. That is crazy. Amazon reported it holds mandatory meeting after vibe-coded changes trigger major outages. Amazon had our 471 outages in a single week. Internal memos say AI-assisted code changes were a contributing factor. The timeline here is wild. In October 2025, Amazon laid off 14,000 corporate employees, 26 another 16,000, 30,000 people in 5 months, or 10% of their corporate workforce. The cuts were about culture. Wow, this is a long ass. On March 5th, Amazon retail site went down for 6 hours. Oh my gosh. Gen AI tools supplemented or accelerated production changed instructions leading to unsafe practices. These problems trace back to Q3 of 2025. Amazon's own assessment, their Gen AI safeguards are not yet fully established. The new rule: junior and mid-level engineers now need senior sign-off on any AI-assisted production changes. Treadwell also announced controlled friction for those most critical parts of the retail experience. So they're slowing. Okay, so this is what's happening. They need to slow down what they're doing because people are using it to do things that they shouldn't use it to do. Uh, report 90% of developers use AI coding, but only 24% trust it a lot, quote unquote. Up-level study of 800 developers found Copilot users introduced 41% but more bugs with no improvements in output. Amazon is finding that those numbers look like a scale of $500 billion revenue company with 30,000 fewer people to staff to catch mistakes. Yep. Last March, I battle tested our mobile beta by turning 5K into 250K in a few weeks, nearly a year later. Doing the same with our web beta with a 1K challenge and feeling the same joy that I did before releasing the mobile app to the public. Wow, incredible. Aave, $21 million in liquidations due to bad Oracle update. For those of you that don't know what an Oracle is provide like basically the baseline prices, right? Like Oracle, you get an Oracle for inflation, right? Inflation, it queries the Oracle every few minutes or days or whatever and tells you what the inflation is. Now, if that Oracle goes to 500,000% up for inflation just because of a bug, if you had a trading algorithm that said if inflation goes above a certain level, you short treasuries or something like that, or long treasuries, whatever you prefer on that trade, then that's what happened here. Aave had $21 million of liquidations due to bad Oracle updates. Just wild. Wild. One of the things, too, that I want to point out on what are the AI tooling softwares that are actually that are blowing up? It really does seem to be things that have low, like really, really low amount of responsibility. For example, Cal AI, right? Calorie AI based things. For example, and things that you can get wrong. Things that need to be wrong. I mean, pharmaceutical AI is like one of the biggest things because it's almost based on getting it wrong over and over and over and over again until you get it right. So something. I mean, that's what it looks like though. Interesting. Jupiter Exchange just launched prediction markets. Yeah, this is another thing. Prediction markets are going to be launched all over the place because they're so easy, but the liquidity for these prediction markets are not. However, I mean the arbitrage between these have to be crazy. Oh, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Western Union, the latest Fortune 500 company to launch a stablecoin, USDPT. Yeah, plenty of stablecoins going on. Like this SAS, idea, problem discovery, market research, niche selection, competitor analysis, opportunity mapping, validation, customer interviews, landing page tests, waitlist, pre-sales, demand testing, planning, product roadmap, feature prioritization, MVP scope, tech stack, development plan, design, wireframes, UI design, UX flows, prototype, design system development, front and back end, APIs, database, authentication, integrations, infrastructure, cloud hosting, DevOps, CIDC, monitoring, securing, testing, unit testing, etc., launch, acquisition. I mean, there's so much to go to what is successful SaaS. The problem is, this is all based on early. These things, this costs you $10 million to do today. Now, $1 million. That's the issue, fellas. Oh, Clav. Clav is still going here. Keep going. Frontier models are exceptionally efficient, intelligent, useful for agents. Context is now the bottleneck. Enter the context layer, which bridges the gap between enterprise messy data and actionable context packaged for agents. Three verticals are emerging data gravity platforms, existing AI data analysts, new dedicated context layer for companies. Yeah, I mean, shocking. Shocking. Oh my gosh. A post regard. So this is from CNN. This is based on the bombing on the New York mayor the other day. We actually did cover this. A post regarding two individuals arrested for throwing homemade bombs outside of New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani's home failed to reflect the gravity of the incident, thereby breaching the editorial standards we require of all reporting. It has therefore been deleted. Two Pennsylvania teenagers crossed into New York City Saturday morning for what could have been a normal day enjoying the weather, but in less than an hour, their lives would drastically change as the pair would be arrested for throwing bombs during an anti-Muslim protest outside the mayor's home. That is ridiculous. Grok responds with something saying the gravity situation. Two Japanese naval aviators crossed into Hawaiian waters Sunday morning for what could have been a normal day of routine training during the unusually clear weather. But in less than an hour, their lives would drastically change as the pair would be caught in crossfire of sudden massive naval engagement at Pearl Harbor. Here's what we know so far. Oh my gosh, that is craziness. Wow. All right, let's finish up here. We got our last little tidbit here. Of course, we always make our stack on Indexify. Let's just take a look on the on-chain markets. It has been all over the place. You saw Moltbook get acquired; their token went crazy. Hype is sitting at 33. So when we look on the day, what is going crazy? Distribute something done. Read the skill. Cliffhanger. Zigcoin. Wojak. Oh, this is not the Wojak we know and love, is it? I don't think it is. Interesting. Pippin, nope. No really great movements. Oh, 84% on Billy. Oh, this is something that we saw yesterday, so I wonder why we didn't catch it. Stocks, on-chain stocks. Obviously, I think the ones that are going crazy is Circle stock. The TQQQ is up 9% on here. Accenture stock is up 8%. It's a little hard. You gotta make sure the volume is good. Let's go to volume. Yeah, let's go to high volume. We'll filter on the day. SpaceX up 3%. Nvidia up 1.5%. So overall, the market hasn't really gone too crazy. OpenAI was down, even with news with the government taking over Anthropic's contracts. Kalshi also down. Commodities. We should really have these as like preset. Gold up. Yeah, I mean gold has really been the only one up about 1.5%. Our stacks trending. Our pre-IPO stack just continuously goes up. I mean, this thing is just a beast. It's up on the month. It's up 11%. So I mean, like clearly outperforming the market. But good to see those movements there. Our AI cohort 30, on the other hand, did not do quite well. However, we did try our new order, our limit orders, and we actually exited at 103. I think that should have been. Let's just take a look. The average exit. Interesting. That's something that our average exit was $1.27. So it hit at 25% gain. We're gonna limit our exposure to this one. Looks like it just wasn't a great buy. So partially review. We're gonna review this. Retry with 6% slippage. Insane. I mean, wild. Okay. Unfortunate. I thought we were gonna do pretty well there, but I'm glad we took our profits. So that's good. Well, let's go ahead and create it. Now, also, our stack wars are going pretty crazy. Ooh, I just got an update from I sent 0.45 years. Oh, interesting. Um, yeah, it looks like Addy Stack, which is aka the winning one, is up, and it's just Microsoft. So I like the approach. It is certainly one that is memorable, but it just shows you that equities are outpacing on-chain assets or just crypto in general. So let's do a little bit clearing out here of our AI cohort 19 is doing quite well, up 34%. I wonder which is the winner. I would really like for these to like matriculate into the winning amount. So let's go into these two. Composition. We're going to take this one out. We're going to save it. And then we're going to rebalance. So I really like to. I think our original idea was to essentially like rebalance into the winners, and I think that these are definitely winning. They're currently sitting at 1 and 10 million. Goated, really killing it as of late. Wow. Okay. Good. 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 Okay. Archived on that one. Wow. Listen, we're gonna continue to do this. SpaceX call is doing well at 4%. Bags 100K competitors as well. So there definitely are winners out there. Let's do it. So create a stack. Stack of the best performing tokens in the past 24 hours and are between 2 million and 250 and 2 million. I think that we should create an agent that does this for us every day. I think this is a perfect example of testing strategy, testing strategies that we do over and over again and are repetitive. So create a stack of the best performing tokens in the past 24 hours and are between 250K and 2 million market cap. So that should work. Okay, so it came up with Wojak is on there, so a couple ones that we saw. Poisco, Christafarianism, interesting, and Tzatziki. This one is just constantly there. Like, why is it there? Like, how is this always popping up? Is it up? Oh, it is. Oh, it's up quite substantially. So yeah, we should definitely do that. Okay. What else? Life is life. Wow, this thing's cooking. Holy crap. Okay. Wojak. Wow, these things are actually standing right now. Christafarianism. I feel like this is kind of a one that you don't really want to. I mean, no, it's definitely working. I mean, people are buying into it. I mean, it just seems like it's the top, though. You know, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. So, I mean, our whole gist behind this was Tzatziki. No, like this one. Yeah. Suzuki. Yeah, all these are doing quite well. I want to watch. I want to see this one. This one just looks crazy overheated. I don't want to. Like get a little too crazy for ourselves here and end up just. I mean, it's been going up for quite some time, but I feel like are we gonna like hit the top here? Let's look live. Let's reduce our exposure here. I don't want to. I don't want to do that. I think all of the rest look fine. Skip for now. We have to rebalance our portfolio a little bit. So these ones, wow, this one got cooked. And we're gonna set our stop losses. We're gonna start doing limit orders only on these. We'll market buy and then we'll set stop losses and take profits. So we're gonna do that. Do. Oh, what do we just? I feel like we just made, yeah, we just clicked it, so we just have to give it a moment to show up. Oh wow, I've never actually seen. I don't think this one's created by me. So we're gonna deselect them. Oh, created by me. Yeah, we're gonna do that. I wonder what my top ones are. Testing 1.9. Wow, these are all pretty good. Okay, good. All right, down a little bit. So we are catching a little bit of a dip. So we're gonna market buy, then we're gonna limit. Sell. We're gonna take profit at 25%, and then okay, so we're gonna do that. Oh no, we're gonna do 50% at 25%. Okay, we're gonna set that take profit order. Okay, and then we're gonna do a stop loss 25% below. And we're gonna set that 100%. Oh, interesting. We have to make sure that we can do both a take profit and stock loss. So that's something that yeah, we should have. You should be able to do all of them actually. Okay. All right. Well, with that, guys, I mean, it's 6 p.m. What a great hour. And I'm excited to talk through tomorrow about what we're going to do. I do want to launch a call bot, so I need to do some research on that. But something that we're going to do. And I want to do it to do exactly what we're doing on stream. So maybe at like 5 p.m. every day, it just goes and makes a stack. So, all right, guys. I will see you all tomorrow and enjoy the day, enjoy the night. If you're in New York, enjoy the warm weather. So I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.